If you click off right now, you're basically admitting that your entire home defense plan is call 911 and hope the dispatcher is having a good day. But if you're actually serious about not becoming a crime statistic, if you want to keep your family safe when midnight decides to come through your window, then stick around, because we're about to break down the 5 moves that actually keep you breathing when someone's trying to take what's yours. Imagine it's 2:47 a.m. on a random Tuesday. You wake up to the sound of breaking glass downstairs. Your heart does that thing where it's suddenly in your throat. Adrenaline floods your system. But here's where most people go wrong. They panic, they freeze, or worse, they try to be a hero. They grab the baseball bat, they think about confrontation, they visualize themselves as the protagonist in their own action movie. And then reality hits, because the person downstairs isn't some burglar looking for your TV. He's aggressive, he's got intent, and he's already proved he doesn't care about the law. If the idea that running away from a fight is better than standing your ground hurts your ego, good. Leave a comment telling me how you'd handle it differently. I love reading fantasy. Tip number 1, don't be a hero, or make sure you're the right kind. Let's get the obvious out of the way. Your stuff is replaceable. Your TV, your laptop, your grandma's china cabinet, that vintage PlayStation collection, all of it has a price tag. You don't. The average home invasion nets the intruder about $2,500 in property. You know what that costs? In trauma, in medical bills, in the fact that your kid is now terrified of the dark. You do the math. That's not even counting a funeral. Here's the reality. About 60% of home invasions happen while someone's home. And here's the part the internet doesn't tell you. Most intruders will bail the second they know you're there. They're not looking for a fight. They want an easy target. They want someone asleep, someone unaware, someone who can't fight back. So the first move is this. Can you safely escape? If yes, do that immediately. Get yourself, get your family, get to safety. Lock a door, call 911, be a witness, let the police do their job. That's not cowardice, that's survival. But not every intruder is the same, and that distinction matters a lot. If you can't escape, well, that brings us to tip number 2, and this is where the strategy changes. You're trapped. The intruder is downstairs, you can't get out. So now you need what we call a defensive position, not your master bedroom. That's the first place they look. That's where everyone runs to when they panic. You need a room you can lock, a room with a solid door, ideally a room with a secondary exit. Think guest bedroom, bathroom, a closet with a lock, anywhere that gives you time and options. Here's where these split depending on who you are. If you own a firearm, your defensive position should have your quick access safe position where you can reach it in the dark under stress, biometric, RFID, something you can open with your thumb when your hands are shaking. The moment you're locked in that room, your phone is already in your hand, dialing 911, not confronting the intruder, not playing hero. This is not the time to cosplay John Wick. Position yourself where you can see the entry point, but the entry point can't immediately see you. That's called the fatal funnel. If someone kicks through that door, you have a sight picture. You have an advantage. You're not reacting, you're waiting. If you don't own a firearm, your defensive position is your fortress. Lock the door, barricade it, furniture against it, wedges, anything that buys you seconds. Now, improvised weapons, a baseball bat next to the bed, a fire extinguisher, yes, seriously, wasp spray. But here's the critical part that nobody talks about. Have an escape route already planned, a window you can fit through, a second exit, not something you figure out at 2 a.m. when you're panicking. You plan this now, today, right after this video ends. If you live in an apartment, your balcony is better than your door. Crawl space, attic, anything that gets you away from the intruder is better than confrontation, because confrontation is where people die. Here's what kills people during home invasions: the inability to read the situation in real time. A burglar has a completely different mindset than a home invader, and the way you respond to a burglar will get you killed against a home invader. So you need to know the difference in the first 5 seconds. A burglar is motivated by property. He wants your TV, he wants your laptop, he's moving fast, he's quiet, he's trying to get in and get out before he's discovered. The second he knows you're awake, he's already planning his exit. He's scared of you. A home invader is different. He broke in knowing you were here. That's intentional. That's aggressive. He's not looking for a quick score. He's looking for something else: money, car keys, or worse. A home invader announces himself with aggression. He's calling out. He's moving with purpose. He's already accepted that confrontation is part of the plan. So here's the read. If it's a burglar, if he's moving fast and he's surprised to see you, let him take the stuff and leave. Your insurance exists for a reason. Your life doesn't. You get yourself and your family out of the house. You don't confront. You don't negotiate. You leave. If it's a home invader, if he's aggressive, if he's targeting you specifically, if he's not backing down when you appear, that's a different calculation entirely. That's when survival mode activates. That's when everything we're about to talk about in tip number 4 becomes real. This is the part where I need to be crystal clear, because the legal system will absolutely be crystal clear about it too. Force is your last resort, not your first option, not your second option, last. But if someone is actively threatening your life or someone else's life, yes, you do have the right to defend yourself. How that works depends on who you are and where you live, and this is where the law actually matters.
If you own a firearm, first understand your state's laws. Some states have castle doctrine, some have stand your ground, some require you to retreat if you can, and these vary dramatically between Texas, Arizona, California, and New York. I'm not a lawyer, your lawyer is. Call them after you call 911. But generally speaking, if someone is actively threatening you in your home, you have the right to use lethal force. 3 rules. 1. Give a verbal warning if you can. I'm armed, leave now. That's documented. That shows restraint. 2. Only shoot if there's an imminent threat. Not if they're fleeing, not if they're complying. Imminent threat only. 3. Shoot to stop the threat, not to kill. I know that sounds like semantics. It's not. Legally, you're defending yourself, not executing someone. If you don't own a firearm, your options are different, but the principle is the same. Improvised weapons, baseball bat, fire extinguisher, even wasp spray. The goal is the same. Target vulnerable areas, face, eyes, joints, and create distance between you and the threat. You're not winning a fight. You're not a martial artist. You're buying yourself time to escape or survive until police arrive. Spray them. Go for the eyes. Run. That's it. And here's what everyone needs to understand. Once that intruder is down, once they're fleeing, once they're no longer a threat, you stop. You do not pursue. You do not keep hitting. You do not shoot them again. Don't be stupid. You get to safety. You call 911. You wait. Everything after that point is evidence, and it will be used against you. Here's the part that actually destroys people, the legal aftermath. Let's say you've successfully defended yourself. The intruder is gone. You've called 911. Police are arriving. What happens next will determine whether you face criminal charges or civil lawsuits that bankrupt you. So here's what you need to know right now. When you call 911, be clear and factual. I've been invaded. The person is still in my house or they're leaving now. I'm locked in my bedroom. Give actionable information, not emotion, not rage, facts. When police arrive, here's what most people don't know. You have the right to remain silent. Exercise it. You do not have to answer their questions right then. You say, I defended my home, I want my lawyer. That's it. Nothing else. Why? Because anything you say can be used against you, even if you were 100% justified. Police aren't there to protect you at that point. They're conducting an investigation, and every word you say becomes a tool against you. Then you call a lawyer, not tomorrow, that night, right now. A good self-defense attorney costs money, but it saves you from decades of legal hell. Here's what people don't realize. Even if you're acquitted of criminal charges, the family of the person who invaded your home can sue you civilly. They can take your house. They can take your savings. This is real. It happens all the time. And if you used force, preserve evidence immediately. Photos of the break-in, your injuries, video if you have it, medical attention, document everything, because that evidence is your defense. If you survive an invasion, you may have trauma, PTSD, nightmares. Don't try to be strong. Get help. A therapist, support groups. Surviving is winning. If you want the full breakdown on securing your home before the crisis hits, check the channel. Liking tells the algorithm you're serious about this. Subscribing means you'll have the next critical video the moment it drops. Stay prepared, stay standing.